Hebrews 10. For the Torah, having a shadow of the good things to come, and not the image itself of the things, was never able to make perfect those who draw near with the same slaughter offerings, which they offer continually year by year. Otherwise would they not have ceased to be offered, because those who served, once cleansed, would have had no more consciousness of sins, but in those offerings is a reminder of sins year by year, for it is impossible for blood of bulls and goats to take away sins. Therefore, coming into the world, he says, slaughtering and meal offering, you did not desire, but a body you have prepared for me. In burnt offerings and offerings for sin you did not delight. Then I said, see, I come. In the roll of the book it has been written concerning me to do your desire, O Yahuwah. Saying above, slaughter and meal offering and burnt offerings and offerings for sin you did not desire, nor delighted in, which are offered according to the Torah. Then he said, see, I come to do your desire, O Yahuwah. He takes away the first to establish the second. By that desire we have been set apart through the offering of the body of Yahusha Mashiach once for all. And indeed every priest stands yom by yom doing service and repeatedly offering the same slaughter offerings, which are never able to take away sins. But he, having offered one slaughter offering for sins for all time, sat down at the right hand of Yahuwah, waiting from that time onward until his enemies are made a footstool for his feet. For by one offering he has perfected for all time those who are being set apart. And the Ruach HaKodesh also witnesses to us, for after having said before, this is the covenant that I shall make with them, after those Yomim, says Yahuwah, giving my laws into their hearts, and in their minds I shall write them. And their sins and their lawlessnesses I shall remember no more. Now, where there is forgiveness of these, there is no longer a slaughter offering for sin. So, brothers, having boldness to enter into the Kodesh place by the blood of Yahusha, by a new and living way which he instituted for us, through the veil, that is, his flesh, and having a high priest over the house of Yahuwah, let us draw near with a true heart in completeness of belief, having our hearts sprinkled from a wicked conscience and our bodies washed with clean water. Let us hold fast the admission of our expectation without yielding, for he who promised is trustworthy. And let us be concerned for one another, in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging, and so much more, as you see, the Yom coming near. For if we sin purposely after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a slaughter offering for sins, but some fearsome anticipation of judgment, and a fierce fire which is about to consume the opponents. Anyone who has disregarded the Torah of Musha dies without compassion on the witness of 2 or 3 witnesses. How much worse punishment do you think shall he deserve who has trampled the Son of Yahuwah underfoot, counted the blood of the covenant by which he was set apart as common, and insulted the Ruach of favor? For we know him who has said, vengeance is mine, I shall repay, says Yahuwah. And again, Yahuwah shall judge his people. It is fearsome to fall into the hands of the living Yahuwah. But remember the former Yomim, when, after you were enlightened, you endured a great struggle with sufferings. On the one hand, you were exposed to reproaches and pressures, and on the other hand, you became sharers with those who were so treated, for you sympathized with me in my chains, and you accepted with joy the seizure of your possessions, knowing that you have a better and a lasting possession for yourselves in the Shamayim. Do not, then, lose your boldness, which has great reward, for you have need of endurance, so that when you have done the desire of Yahuwah, you receive the promise. For yet a little while, he who is coming shall come and shall not delay. But the obedient shall live by belief. But if anyone draws back, my being has no pleasure in him. But we are not of those who draw back to destruction, but of belief to the preservation of life.